you know, a lot of your bits over the years, you know, when you do your parents act, when you impersonate your parents, because we don't speak Korean that well either. Like, how's your Korean? Like, what percentage?
Well, my Korean is like my generation. We came here, and then like our parents were like, we all want American kids, 100% American kids. And so then they would never allow us to speak Korean. So we had to, they would speak to us in Korean, but we had to answer in English. So it was like, I do speak Korean, but it's like really like pabo level, like really like dumb, bad, like, you know, like a child. Like Konglish.
Yeah. No, we do the same thing, but it's funny because when we try to do impersonations of Korean people, it's always like an older Korean, like a over 40, 50-year-old dude. You know what I'm saying? It's never like a young Korean. It's always like aggressive the way our parents talk and shit, like we're about to whip our friend's ass or something like, hey, 자식아 뭐라고, you know what I mean? Yeah, and all the cadences are very angry, right?
Yeah.
Or naggy.
It's, you know what it is? It's like, just pretend that you're like you're in the like parking area of like some kind of like kalbi restaurant in the mini mall, and that's like you're the parking attendant. They're all like, yeah. They're like really like, yeah. Like it's a very like it's universal. They don't have to say words. Yeah. You just know you can't park there.
And it stretches out to you got the quick ones like but you got the ones that kind of stretch out like a roller coaster, like na na na. Like they kind of.
It's like
I like the yeah.
All these sound like Migos ad libs and shit,
it goes out. It gets.
Yeah.
It's also like, you know, when you're, but you know what, you could kind of fake Korean because a big part of it is active listening. You know, it's like, when they like really agree, then it's a.
I learned some more advanced shit when I was last in Korea. You just do. You just push your glasses.
Yeah.
That's pretty powerful. It's just like,
yeah. That's a good one. Or you just take them off completely and just.
No, my parents, you know, I was born in Argentina, and I came here when I was 3 years old, and both my parents speak fluent Spanish. So living in Koreatown, Los Angeles, like they never learned English. So they only speak Spanish and Korean.
Yeah,
at my house, I bring a black friend over and it's just Spanish to him and shit. I'm like, Mom, it's like, he don't speak any Spanish. But that was like their way of like flexing, like, oh, okay, I'm not going to use Korean. It's Spanish. You know what I'm saying?
But that's cool. That's cool.
It was cool.
Yeah, because I mean, well, it's kind of great because a lot of Koreans come to Koreatown because they never actually have to learn English or even Spanish. They can get by because it's so densely populated with Korean people. So it's kind of, I think it's a really great neighborhood for that.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've like, what's your relationship with Koreatown? Like, do you have any? I mean, because you're from the Bay Area.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of Bay Area heads who moved down to Los Angeles.
Yeah, but I when I was here, I have a really difficult relationship with Koreatown because my relationship is totally different from your guys'. Because when I was starting and I was doing comedy in the 90s, they had just had the LA riots happen. And so Koreans here were incredibly protective of their public image. And I was doing stand-up comedy on television, and I had a TV show on ABC, and they were so against it. They were really mad that I was out there and I was swearing, and they didn't want to, you know, they didn't want to be represented by me. And so I had all these like 목사님s, like pastors and stuff would like get really angry and threaten me with like protests and everything.
Oh, wow.
And it was heavy, and I would get really upset. I mean, fortunately, all those people died. So it's
R.I.P.
Thank God they
There's
all
a new
died.
generation. Thank God they're long gone. Yeah.
But now I'm the elder, which is great because then I can nurture young people and their art and their, you know, all the things that they want to do. But that generation were just, they really didn't want to be perceived as anything but like Christian.
It was the appearance. They wanted the best versions of their Korean youth out there, right? I know that you still knew what's up with K-Town because I saw like a stand-up you did on Jay Leno, and you talk about Evita, and you were like, "Don't cry for me, 6th and Western."
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you like said the exact cross streets, and I was like, "Oh shit." Little K-Town flex.
It's very K-Town, but yeah, now I have a different relationship to it, and I think it's such an amazing resource to have, and then we could just go right back to Korea by just taking Alvarado.
Yeah, exactly.
Right here.
I know, like, I mean, during the riot era, after that, you know, a lot of the Koreans were very proud that came from the ashes of the riots. You know, there's a lot of young kids who always flex about the riots. Like, yeah, we came out of the riots. I'm like, motherfucker, you were 5 and shit. Like,
Yeah.
They talk about it like they were on the roof with the fucking guns and shit. Like, you were 5, bro. Watching the ocean on TV. But yeah, I mean, it's come a long way for sure. And then, you know, in Asian American entertainment in the last, I would say like 2 years has been crazy.
Yeah.
And it's weird because, I mean, I know you know this. Every year you're probably like, you know, because you've been an advocate for so long, like, this is going to be the year we get in. This is going to be the year. And, like, it never was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, like, the last year was the year. Like, did you feel that?
Well, yeah, of course. And it's so amazing and exciting. And I think that finally it's starting to happen where you're seeing much more Asian American artists in every genre, in every entertainment field. And that's really powerful. So, you know, I just think like we've got to create as many like Asian American TV shows and movies and podcasts and albums as just in case white people change their mind. So you got to get it out right now. Hurry. Like do it really quickly. You have to do it really fast because we may not, you know, they might change their mind. They could any second.
I feel like, you know, people really confuse, I feel like, the Asian experience and the Asian American experience for a long time.
Yeah.
Because people are like, yeah, Asian. You know, I'm like, nah, there's 2 different things going on. You know, even in music and hip hop, there's a lot of artists that are making noise right now, but it's straight like Asian artists.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's raps in Chinese or Korean, that's really popular K-pop, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But like, I think people mistaken the support for it because they're like, oh yeah, we support that shit. So they think they're just supporting Asian Americans, but it's some other shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great though that we're seeing, you know, like BTS and of course Blackpink and all, you know, these acts from Korea coming and becoming huge here. And now, you know, you want to see more Asian American support for that. I mean, the biggest thing to happen to Asian American entertainment has been Crazy Rich Asians,
Right?
Which is incredible, tremendous. I think genre busting revolution. You know, we're seeing so much from that. So I think that it's like it's a very particular thing to be Asian American, you know, and that's an identity that we really are fully like learning who we are, and we're going to embody it now.
When you were coming into the scene, I feel like that was the first people were seeing an Asian American almost for the first time, like Asian American woman, you know, speak on, and how like how did they perceive that? Was it like cats not ready for that in a way, like you know?
I think it was weird because I would be doing a lot of comedy and in nightclubs, and I would have to follow like these white comedians doing a whole bunch of Asian driver jokes, and it was really weird, you know. And so I remember like my first joke was like, I drive very well, and then people would feel all guilty, and then they would have to listen. So it was a very strange thing to kind of go up. It's like I basically just go up on stage and go, okay, I know that you've been racist by laughing for the last half an hour, but I'm gonna make you understand that, and we're gonna continue. So it was a weird thing, but I think what is good is that a lot of young people saw my comedy and felt like, oh, I could do that. You know, and that's my big achievement. You know, it's not so much if I was any good, but it was that other people saw me and they're really good. So that's really great.
Yeah. I'm curious about what you think, like with joking around with Asian stereotypes, how far that's come. Because I come from like a lot of the battle rap world, right? So like when I go into a battle, people are still going to use all the Asian stereotypes still to this day.
Yeah.
And I listen to the reactions like if shit still works, you know? And it does. You know, it's like all the shit still works. And I've gotten hit with all the best Asian jokes. I could appreciate a hella good Asian joke.
Yeah,
you know? But yeah, I don't know how you feel, how far it's gotten with those, you know, few stereotypes or whatnot. Do you still feel it's hacky in a way, or if it's done right?
If it's done in a clever way that makes me laugh, then I'm all for it. You know, I think that stereotypes exist for the grain of truth, that the small bit of truth that exists from that. You know, so that I think that there's some merit to it, but it's boring if it's just like hacky and cheap. But I think when I do an Asian voice, I talk about my mom and my parents and my comedy, and to me, that's just the way they talk. And the only like criticisms that I've got over the years of like using an Asian voice to talk about my family is from white people. They're like, I think that's racist, which I love it when white people tell me what's racist. That's real cute.